Mother of God.
Hey guys, Kingopersia here. This is another video of mine, and this is my thoughts on the stories of the classes of Star Wars: The Old Republic. So, in the game, each class has its own storyline that pertains to that particular class. If you're going through the smuggler storyline, you know, playing like Han Solo, you got like tricks up your sleeve. You're like doing shady deals with people. You got your gun ready at all time, looking over your shoulder, that type of thing. If you're a Jedi Knight, you're very honorable, taking on other Sith, saving the galaxy, that type of thing. Each storyline pertains to the general type of lifestyle of each class you pick. Now, BioWare does the stories pretty okay. I've only played through the Jedi Knight storyline fully, and I'm still doing Chapter 1 on the Sith Inquisitor storyline. Now, my general thoughts of the stories are that they make them like BioWare is trying to make it really long and very epic and deep, very long and very epic, like Star Wars is, and take place on a large scale. Now they do that, they make them very long, but they're not entirely epic. They don't really grab you that much, they don't pull you in, they're not that immersive. Like, they're trying to make it like a Star Wars type of mood, but they don't do it too much, because like your character and a lot of the characters that you talk to don't have the type of emotions they had in the movies. Like I said, they're trying to go for really long, epic type of storylines. They make it really long, and they're on scale. They're sort of like on a large scale, but they don't make them deep or complex or anything like that. Now, a big point I'm trying to make is that if they made them like Metal Gear Solid type storylines, that would be really cool. I'd be a really big fan of that. Like in Metal Gear Solid, they're very deep, complex. They pull you in, very interesting storylines. There's plot revelations like crazy. Here's a spoiler right here for Metal Gear Solid people, and for people that are playing Metal Gear Solid. When you, like in the original Metal Gear games, you fight Big Boss, in the Metal Gears for MSX and whatnot. You fight Big Boss, you kill him, great. Metal Gear Solid 1 comes around, he's your father. Who would have thought of that, you know? That's just finding out the guy you killed is your father. You know, stuff like that in Star Wars would be great. Now, I've heard the Imperial Asian storyline is pretty good. I haven't played through it yet though. But like I said, they need to, like, they have these storylines that are good, but they don't do anything with them. They're just plain stories. They're very plain. You know, they're average. They don't do much with them. There's not much flair to them. But I definitely see what they were trying to do with the story. I mean, some of the characters are kind of cool, mostly just the companions, not really the NPCs you interact with along like in all the different planets. And another thing is that your character doesn't talk much in the conversations. When you talk, it's only a couple sentences. When it's usually 1 or 2 sentences, but you're usually just answering questions. But when the NPCs talk, the quest givers, they have a whole full set of conversations for you. Another thing that I've said before in another one of my videos for Star Wars was that with Star Wars: The Old Republic, it's made by BioWare, and you can choose, you have dialogue options that you can choose to say to people, like Mass Effect and Dragon Age. That's what they're trying to go for in Star Wars. But overall, like they keep saying your choices have a big impact on the storyline, but they really don't. Like most of the time, if you make a choice, it only lasts the difference you make only lasts just a little bit. It's not a huge plot twister. It doesn't change the story that much. Like if you choose one dialogue option, it'll maybe add a sentence or two. If you choose another one, it just won't have those 1 or 2 sentences in the conversation. That's pretty much it. Here is a spoiler for Dragon Age people. Later on in the game, in Dragon Age, partway through it, you make friends with a guy named Alistar. Now, as you play and you make friends with him, and also the general goal of the game is to find Logain, make him pay for his crimes, and potentially kill him or imprison him, whatever. Now you form a relationship with Alistar as you go through the game. It pulls you in, and you really become friends with your companions, and you start to love them. That's one thing that made Dragon Age a great game. Now, when you get to the part where you can choose to kill, or where you decide the fate of Logain. Like as you play through the game, you think about Logain and you start to hate him for what he did. But when you get to the point where you decide his fate, you can kill him or have him side with you. If you kill him, that's great. You get to continue on. But if you don't kill him, Alistar leaves you. He doesn't like you anymore. He hates you. He wanted to kill Logain for betraying you. But Alistar could completely leave the storyline, and that would make a lot of people butthurt if he had done that, because you formed, like I said, you formed a relationship, you started to love him, and people wouldn't like that. Now, that's like breaking your heart really badly. If Star Wars did that, that'd be amazing. You know, you don't form too much of a relationship or a connection with the characters in the game that much. They're just not as interesting. Another thing I think could benefit the stories of the Star Wars The Old Republic class storylines would be to improve, to look more at the background of your character. Like in part of the Inquisitor storyline, there's one line of dialogue where your character talks about their history as a slave, and I thought that was really cool. It was like 2 sentences, but I thought it was really cool because it goes into detail about the history of the character you play. You know, really have that type of stuff. Like information about the characters you play. Have a lot of static characters that aren't just your companions, and you have more people that you see throughout the game, and help really make it easy to build a connection to that character. Overall, what I'm trying to say is that the stories in Star Wars are very plain, basic, and stale. They're trying to go for what they did with Mass Effect, but they don't do it as well. Now, Star Wars is a great game. I love it. But stories are not the best. They're still good to watch, though. I still love them. But there's just no spice to it. There's no flair. So that's the stories for you. But that is it. Thank you for watching. If you want to be friends with me on Steam, my Steam name is the same as my YouTube name. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, check out my video from Monday, which was the What is an MMORPG video on Clash Rolls. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Looking forward to a video for next Monday.